Hey everyone, today I'm going to cover a little bit about this movie, Leave the World Behind. There's a lot more to this movie than what you think, and I have 35 slides here that I'm going to cover in another video. So this video is just going to kind of be a preview, and kind of the point of it is to show you that this movie is all about the falling Wormwood star. There's just a ton of Wormwood references in this movie, but I'm going to kind of show you a few things just to kind of set the stage when I go through it, kind of just to show you guys here that it's all about Revelation 8:11, the falling Wormwood star, and that of course is the central theme of my channel. And a couple things before we get started here that I want to show you that connect to this movie as well. But I got this email from YouTube right before the beginning of 2024, and it showed my top video of 2023 was this video here, 9/11 to Chicago Earthquake and Mothman Prophecy Part 1. And this is going to connect to the movie, because I had shown you before the Mothman statue in West Virginia, and we talked about the Mothman kind of prophecy and mythology, but that connects to this movie, and there's a hidden QR code in this movie, and I'll just show you that right now, I guess. This hidden QR code was hidden in this map. Now it's kind of interesting. I put my video out about Friends, the sitcom Friends, and a few other things. It was mostly about December 13th, 2023 and 2024, and how it connected to Friends, the sitcom Friends, and Matthew Perry. And I did this video about 10:30 in the morning, and then in this video someone had left a comment to watch, that I should watch this movie, Leave the World Behind, and it had just released that day on Netflix. And I watched it that afternoon, and this is like one of the first pictures I took when I was watching the movie. I took this picture. It was 5:46 p.m. when I took this picture. But anyways, initially I never saw this, but there's a QR code hidden in here, right on top of the state of Kentucky. And it was almost like it was just kind of a crazy synchronicity that the day that came out, I just happened to do this video, because a huge theme in this movie, Leave the World Behind, is about the kind of one of the subplots is about the sitcom Friends, and how this actress, the daughter of the main characters here, she's trying to watch the final episode of the sitcom Friends, and she finally gets to see it. But we'll go through that more later, but in the bigger video. But huge Friends theme, and given Matthew Perry died, and this is about Friends, and actually I think there was just a shooting or something at a Perry high school or something. So this Perry theme, this keeps kind of permeating in the last few months here, but we'll maybe cover that more later too. But just want to show you guys that there's this Friends theme and Matthew Perry, but mostly this movie is all about Wormwood. Okay, this is the very first opening scene of the movie, and you can see here they have this coffee cup with the 76 on it, right? And that's, they're referencing 1776, the founding of the United States. I have the 13 stars here in the circle for the original 13 states. But I've showed you guys this before. Revelation 8:11 just happens to sit as the 141st verse of Revelation, and 8:11 is the 141st prime number. And when you take the permutations of 8:11 and 141 and sum them together, they sum to 1776. So right off the bat in the movie, they're referencing this 1776, and they even draw you attention to it, right? It's right by your coffee, made just the way you like it, right? They're drawing attention immediately to this coffee cup. Okay, and as the movie goes along, it's all about Wormwood, the Wormwood event. Okay, let's see here. Yep, so here's my 127 hours watched for 2023. My most popular video, 9/11 to Chicago earthquake, Mothman prophecy. And on the map, West Virginia, Mothman statue. But the hidden QR code that they show in this movie, first picture I took here, this QR code, this is located right on top of Kentucky. It sits on top of Tennessee, right next to West Virginia. This QR code, if you scan it, it will take you to this website, the Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park, right? And this abandoned amusement park, of course, is super related to Chernobyl, because the Pripyat amusement park was scheduled to open, and then it was closed because of the Chernobyl disaster. And of course, I showed you many times, Chernobyl translates to wormwood in Ukrainian, but the Ferris wheel and the abandoned amusement park, those pictures and that theme is a huge connection for the Chernobyl disaster. And of course, they show this abandoned amusement park, which is connected to the QR code. So there's a second connection to Wormwood in this movie with the abandoned amusement park theme. It's kind of interesting too. I had taken this screenshot from National Lampoon's Vacation. I think that was like 1983. I can't remember, but this was pre-Chernobyl disaster. But again, they visit an abandoned amusement park, and there's kind of a lot of movies with this amusement park theme or abandoned amusement park theme. Beverly Hills Cop, I have as an amusement park, right? The whole third act of the movie, I think, takes place in an amusement park. But this abandoned amusement park, of course, in relation to Wormwood, is also directly related to this QR code for Leave the World Behind. That's right here in West Virginia, same place as the Mothman prophecy, or the Mothman statue, and I went through all the Mothman prophecy stuff in that video that I did a couple months ago. Here, my most popular video of 2023. Anyways, so this movie features this actress, Farrah McKenzie. She's kind of like, one of the subplots of the movie is she wants to see the finale of the series Friends, and eventually she gets to watch it at the end of the movie in a bunker. But what's interesting is this character, or this actress, plays another character in a movie, and the movie is called Logan Lucky, and this movie is about a vault heist underneath the Charlotte Motor Speedway racetrack, North Carolina, I think. Anyways, so there's another reference here to the East Coast. All this stuff is concentrated kind of on the East Coast, and if we overlay the New Madrid fault line, right, there's the New Madrid fault line on the west side of Kentucky, west side of Tennessee, all on the border here, right where the X eclipse is going to happen, and then the QR code, everything is in this area right here in this eastern part of the United States, kind of right by this New Madrid fault line. So it's pretty interesting. But this actress here, she's in a movie called Logan Lucky, and she's in a beauty pageant, and she's wearing her banner here for West Virginia. But in the beauty pageant, she sings the song Take Me Home Country Roads, which was written by John Denver, and he died in a plane crash. And then in the movie Leave the World Behind, there's a couple plane crashes. If you haven't seen it, pretty interesting. All these plane crashes and things are crashing on the beach where they're at. So, but yes, this actually, she's much younger here, but in the movie, right, she's the kind of the subplot or the kind of the central character, and we'll go over more about that later. But one more thing I wanted to cover here about this movie is I think there's a reference. I'm pretty sure they're referencing one of the Mesoamerican calendars here. In the first, I suppose, 20 minutes of the movie, Julia Roberts' character sees a deer in the yard of a house they rented. And that's an interesting theme. We're going to talk about the rent theme here in a little bit too, but when I go through the bigger video. But they see a deer, and then she says they're good luck, or a good omen in Mesoamerican mythology. So I decided to look up this deer symbolism, and it's connected to an Aztec calendar, and the deer is a deity called Mazatl, and it's connected to an Aztec calendar, and it's a calendar of, let's see, what is it here? It's a 260-day calendar. It had 260 days, which are divided into separate units called triconas. Each tricona had 13 days, and each day was represented by a symbol. And one of the symbols for one of those days is the deer, which is Mazatl. And I had just looked into this calendar just briefly, and I sent a text over to where I talked about it with Bobby Simpson, and he sent me this back in a text about this 260-day calendar and how it resets every 52 years, and kind of from his, I guess, from his preliminary, research of this calendar that he did for me. May 4th, 2024 is going to be the next start of the 260-day cycle of this calendar. So maybe I'll look into that a little bit more and see how accurate this May 4th date is, but they're definitely referencing in this movie the deer connected to the Mesoamerican mythology. And if we start looking into that, it's connected to that calendar. So we'll keep that in the back of our minds, that May 4th date, for something interesting, because it looks like it might be the reset or the restart of this Mesoamerican calendar here. But yeah, guys, just wanted to show you that, all about Wormwood, the abandoned amusement park, from the QR code in the movie, the abandoned amusement park, that's so connected to Chernobyl, and then the 1776. And one other thing too that I'm going to cover is this theme of the cyber attack, right? They have a cyber attack, right? Cyber attack. That's what this little map is showing here. But they mention hackers. Now, when you say the word hackers, the two, consonants that you accentuate is the H, and it's CK, but HK. HK is 811, right? HK, 811, the 8th and 11th letter of the alphabet, HK. And that seems to be another theme I've seen in a few movies lately, this H and K theme, but hackers, right? There's, of course, are responsible for a cyber attack connected to hackers, and just the sound of the word is connected to the 8th and 11th letters of the alphabet for 811. And I don't think that's a stretch, because there's another movie that I had actually mentioned before going through this more, Knock at the Cabin. They actually feature in that movie a HK pistol, and there's a whole scene about the HK pistol. And then the guy from Chicago, one of the guys from Chicago, actually ends up with that HK pistol. And of course, Chicago is a big theme here, and that I've been tracking for the Wormwood event or some kind of event. All these connections here. But yep, leave the world behind. It's not what you think it's about. I'll go over it more. It's about this difference between, it's kind of about the commercial world. This whole world has been commercialized, right? And if you are of this world, you are commercial. But if you're not of this world, then you're not commercial. That's like there's this whole world works on the idea that everything is commercialized, including, right, your citizenship, where your citizenship, your birth certificate, it's all connected to the commercial world, right? A certificate, right? It's a security, it's a commercial security, all this stuff. But if you leave the world behind, so you're not of this world, you leave the commercial world, you separate yourself from the commercial world, and that's a big theme that we're going to go with here. I'll go through with you when we do the full video breakdown here, right? Leave the world behind. Hamlet, right? They actually go on vacation to what they call a hamlet. And when you look at, I'll show you here real quick, a pledge, right? The birth certificate is a pledge, and a pledge is the pigness of Roman law, right? Pig. There's a pig theme that I've followed in the past too, from the Chinese calendar, from the Chinese zodiac. But a pledge is a pigness, and a pledge, the birth certificate is formed from a pledge. And in this movie, they're going to go to a hamlet, and I'll go through it all later. It's very, very obvious and interesting, and it's connected to the Wormwood event, and it's connected to the commercialization of everybody and everything in this world, and how you're supposed to leave the commercial world behind. Okay, and there's ways to do that, and legitimate ways to leave the commercial world behind. And we'll go through that in the bigger video, but just don't want to make this one too long. We'll go through it more later. But yep, everything here is connected. It's all connected to Wormwood. Yeah, guys, we'll go through this more later. And thanks for watching.